Welcome all water signs to your September chakra reading. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. This is for Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. Bringing in that water energy. Let's see what you have in common this month, okay, which is needed for you to balance your chakras. We have rebirth. That actually does not surprise me. Actually, almost every water sign reading I have, you guys are going through a rebirth, whether you're Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. Okay, let's see. Got memories of love coming through with that beautiful heart chakra coming up, talking about that nostalgia, thinking about things, bringing things up. Maybe you are doing some healing, right? As we go through a rebirth, we think about things that are good and what are bad. What is it that I want to take with me and what is it that I want to release, right? That's how we heal. What is good, what is helpful, what is, and what is just negative. If it's super negative and it's not helpful, it doesn't build anything or doesn't help with anything, release it, right? It's just pain and misery. Mental conflict. But no matter what, that pain and misery, you still learn something from it. That's for sure. So never forget that you still learned along the way. It's part of your soul contract to learn misery, as we all do. We just have to learn how to let it go and move forward. Wisdom, and that's it right there. The mental conflict. We have the wisdom coming in. Through the mental conflict comes the wisdom, right? And that's really what the rebirth is about. It's about learning how to deal with the loss, learning how to deal with the problems, learning how to grow and make it into wisdom, not just mental conflict and misery. Using the knowing with the crown chakra. The crown chakra is going to come in as the divine knowing, bringing that download from the higher self, right? Which is located above the head, on top of the head, right? That's where when everything that starts becoming clear through the third eye then becomes the knowing. It's like, I can see, now I know. And this is what you're going to start doing. You're in this process of, I know that this is not good for me. I know I should let this one go. And sometimes if we kind of look at it as, what did I learn from the situation? Because rebirth really wants you to understand and really get deep with, what is it that I learned from the situation? I think one that we always want to say, and I just want to bring this to light because I hear this all the time, and I've even thought it myself. I think this is a big human thing. I've learned not to trust people, and that's the wrong answer. I've learned throughout the years that's the wrong answer. Because then it causes a fearfulness to want to get close to people. It's actually closing the heart chakra down instead of allowing it to expand. So when we say things like that, which I've said many, many times myself, we all probably have, that is the wrong answer. Because that is not, it's just not the right answer. Seriously, it's not. What the right answer is how am I accepting? Through the wisdom, you will learn what you will accept and will not accept. It's not that I learn not to trust people. It's that I'm learning to accept what I want to accept and what I'm not going to accept anymore. That's the answer. That's the right answer. It took me years to figure that out. Because I thought that was the answer too. Yeah, well then I just don't trust people, right? It's too people-y outside. I don't want to go outside. That's the wrong answer. So we learn from our mistakes. And then we go strong. And then actually with the wisdom over here, we learn to build strong. We learn to build stronger ties within ourselves because then we become more aware, like I said, of what we're going to accept and not accept. How long are you going to let it go, right? How long are you going to accept this this person to hurt me? How long am I going to allow this deception to continue to take place when I know it's taking place? But I'm not opening my mouth to the situation. I'm not walking away from the situation. I'm not closing the door on the situation. So therefore, it's just making mental conflict. See, as you're growing, you're going to say, I have the wisdom now to understand, to walk away from this. What am I going to accept? It's not about not trusting people. It's about trusting your decisions. Right? So we have to when we start waking up to understanding certain situations, then we understand, you know what, and then a lot of the pains that we were holding on to are going to be easier to let go of as we accept, right? When we accept what's going on around us. We have a better understanding of this is what growth means. When we understand that this is what's supposed to happen. When we, you know what I'm saying? Because that was a part of the karmic plan. That was a part of what's going on. Like life is almost like scripted. I need to change the script. How am I going to change the script if I'm just sitting in mental conflict? Because, you know, I can change this at any time. It's in my hands. You know, these people are, you know, you guys make a contract to come and mess each other up. So you can learn on how you're going to get out of it. Right? If you think of it like that, then it's so easy because you're just like, he was here to hurt me. And now how am I going to follow through? Am I just going to close down my whole heart chakra and just allow him to be in my head for the rest of my life and then never trust, never love? Because one person hurt me? Yes, thank you. I love that. Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Not only are they going through their challenges and the same things, they're going through the mental conflict and all of the same things that you're going through. They could cause the pain and still go through the same bullshit because, you know, it'll come back to them when judgment hits them. And if it doesn't hit them and they don't realize what's going on and what they did to you, it'll end up happening to them anyways through someone else. So we all have our own challenges, we all have our own paths, and we have our own pains. And it's all about getting to the wisdom through the crown chakra to understand that life is really, you know, it has its ups and downs, right? It really does. It really has its own ups and downs, and it's meant to be that way. If we didn't, we'd never learn nothing. And the soul wants to learn. So what is it telling you? It's saying surrender. I can release my need to control the situation. What are you doing? You're surrendering. By letting go of those negative emotions and having your rebirth and learning and doing the things that you're doing, you're surrendering to the universe and allowing yourself and surrendering to yourself to say, you know what, I'm not going to put up with this anymore. I'm going to learn. Yep, and here, look at this, what fell out with it. Failure. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. I'm actually going to put this one down here because it did fall out. So I really think that was meant to be there. It flipped out, so we'll keep it. But yes, and this is what rebirth is all about. The understanding that you can change, and it's going to cause growth. Growth in so many different ways. And those who, you know, you just imagine, guys, how many don't take a rebirth. What is going to happen? It's going to happen, right? You're going to go through some kind of mental breakdown. You're going to go through some, mostly those who don't take rebirths usually go through a midlife crisis. I've noticed that through the years. It's almost like Spirit says you either take the rebirth or take the midlife crisis, you know? And it's almost like that's kind of what really happens. Card coming out on the memories of love is the Six of Cups. So could have been dealing with a karmic past life relationship that really just wore and tore you down. But Spirit is really wanting you to get into the past over here so that you can heal from the past, right? Really look deep at the good versus the bad and what you need to heal from and then release. But when you release it, you have to understand that it was meant to be, right? You can't just like throw it away and then say, yeah, I'm done with that, because it'll just come back to haunt you. Once you have the understanding of why this was here or why that did that, but that's a part of the journey. It's part of the rebirth. It's part of the journey. right? With the Queen of Wands, this is going to cause so much more courage, so much more loyalty and trust. There we have that trust again, that trust. And then you'll really be ready to manifest as well, because you'll have more trust, more loyalty, surrendering to the universe, and really being able to, really make things change. Oh, there it is. Thank you. And really make things change in your favor. Getting rid of that mental conflict allows you to become the magician, allows you to now co-create where you need to co-create, right? Because you're letting go of all the negativity that's forcing its hand almost kind of like down your throat, right? And it's like choking you out over here, and you're just like, right? Yep. So with the wisdom over here, let's clarify on the wisdom, surrender, and crown chakra. Yeah. You guys are going on a beautiful journey over here. Yeah. This is actually going to throw me 2 cards too. Huh. Okay, so all of the pains that you're carrying around, and it's like, it's almost like turmoil, and it's back pain, it's almost like back breaking over here, burdens. You're actually going to become the King of Wands over here and really feel like you are now in control. You are in control of yourself, your destiny, and having the wisdom to understand who you are, what things mean, and it'll be the dawning of a new day, right? And there's that trust and loyalty again with the dog. The dog represents loyalty again. So being loyal to yourself. And yeah, you are. You're definitely going to carry the book of wisdom over here, because you're definitely going to be full of knowledge and wisdom that you didn't realize that you possessed as it starts coming to you. It's just going to be like a light bulb. And the more that you watch little things, more light bulbs will go off, right? So definitely walking in your own power as the King of Wands. So now you're just not even the Queen. You went from the Queen of Wands to now the King of Wands. Wow, you're just on a roll over here. Pushing that fire all over the place. The surrender. Whoa. Hello. Wow. Okay, hold on. Yeah. Surrendering to the repeated cycles over and over and over, and the repeated mistakes and the repeated past memories and you know what I'm saying? And the past things that just keep you going in your mind. You will be surrendering to those as you are learning new knowledge, as you are, growing and learning and getting new information, and really being able to plant those seeds, right? Making a better investment, better choices, better thoughts, right? Of how you're going to expand, how you're going to do the things that you need to do to be able to get to where it is you need to be with this rebirth, and having a better understanding of life in general, right? Your life. Everybody's life is different. We all have the same, pretty much. The undertones of life are all the same as everybody else, right? We're spirit beings here having an earthly experience. That's the undertone. We're all doing the same thing. We're all on a mission somehow or another. Our missions are not always the same. That's why we have destiny life path numbers. I'm a number 11, master number 11. You might be a 6. My son is a 5. And that means we all have different things. And then you'll run into another 5, another 6, another master number 11, another 22. You see what I'm saying? So we all, and then we'll all kind of break down into the same in the end. But we're all unique and individual in the way we think, learn, do these things. And you're learning your way, right? But the undertones of life is really what's really going to really kind of start hitting you as well. Wow, if we surrender, we can manifest. We all get to do that. It's not just like we have one special person on the planet who's allowed to do that. You know what I mean? We're not going to go there. I'm not even going to get into that conversation, because there's certain people on this, certain people who teach that, who do believe that there was but they only live in the BC time, so, Anyways, I'm not going there. But yeah, we all get to co-create. We all get to manifest. It's our born given right as human beings. And the crown chakra is telling you that you understand the power for 3 within yourself. Mind, body, and soul. Right? And really getting in touch with it. Right? And this brings in the happiness. This brings in the joy. This brings in the celebration of your life, of your journey. Because as soon as that rebirth hits and you become this beautiful butterfly, because everything starts coming together and you're going, holy crap, wait, hold on a second, wait, what? Because the more you keep growing, the more you keep waking up, and the more you keep kind of waking up into this awakening, the more you keep growing. And we'll just continue to keep butterflying effect until we die. And keep growing, because we're not going to know everything. Okay? Even the gurus don't know everything. They, some may think they do, but they don't. They'd have to, probably live thousands of years to actually understand every, piece and part of everything, because God keeps a lot of things secret. Universe likes to keep secrets, right? And then just makes our little minds think this and that and the other, right? And we're pretty close, right? Viewers are really pretty close on that, right? Their intuition, they got that, but it doesn't mean they're 100. Okay. So yeah, you're really soul searching. You're really doing what you need to do to get your victory, and it's going to make you feel like you're a brand new, fresh person, because you pretty much are. That's my phone going off. Sorry, guys. I forgot it was on. Okay. So the card coming out for you is Abundance is my birthright. Wow, that's awesome. Wait, hold on. Why you guys keep getting 2? You guys are getting like almost 2 of everything. What the heck? Okay, Abundance is my birthright. Spirit has some messages, probably because you're on a rebirth, so they really want to spit this stuff out at you. If you want love and abundance in your life, give it away. I think we talked about this in manifestation video 2. I think it was 2. The one we just did. We have 2 videos. Anyways, the point is that if you want love in your life, give love. Open up that heart chakra, give love. You want money, and you're going to have to spend a little bit of money to make money, right? That's why it's called currency. It flows. Put it in the current. The law of attraction brings only good into my life. That's a great affirmation. So gratitude will shift you to a higher frequency, and you will attract much better things. Well, we just talked about that. When we let go of the past things that hurt, that no longer serve us, once we understand why they were there and how we can let them go and what the purpose was, then you can start what? Manifesting as the magician. Wow. Talk about now talk about these 2 cards coming out as manifestors. Wow. Okay, guys. And just always remember, you are beautiful, you are love, you are light, you are wealthy, you are healthy. Okay? Keep yourself grounded. Until next time, my friends, peace and love. Bye-bye.